Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about portraiture, silicone babies in portraiture. I have always been fascinated with being able to capture the likeness of a child. When I started drawing all those many years ago, I was able to do that. But I found as I became a sculptor, being able to capture the likeness is something that was going to be really complex. I'm really excited about this sculpt. I actually started him about 3 years ago, and at that time, I considered him being a one of a kind. And for some reason, I kept pushing it back. Then he really got put on the back burner, obviously, 3 years ago. So here we are, about 3 years later, and I pulled him out of the bin and reworked that sculpt. Literally every piece of his head, other than the forehead, has been sculpted over. The interesting thing about portraits, guys, when I do a portrait sculpture, it is the most difficult thing that you can do. You're not just sculpting a face, you're duplicating the face of your subject. Obviously, it's just an interpretation, but you're going to try as much as possible to get that likeness. It's all about a portrait. So whenever I do a portrait, I require photos from all angles, portraits, a profile, frontal, three-quarter view, different expressions. I have all that, and I need that, and the photos have to be really clear when I do that. Obviously, I work from one photo, which you will see in this video, which is the most limiting source of photos that I've ever worked from. So I knew it was going to be a challenge because it's like the least amount of I had to work with. So I feel like just based on the fact that I had the one photo to work from, I think I got in pretty good. So my plans for portraits, like I said earlier, this is not my first portrait. In this video, you will see other examples of my portrait work. And my plan for next year, I will be doing a series of portrait babies, and these will be considered my platinum limited edition line of babies, very exclusive. And Prince George will basically be the launch of that line of babies. The sculpt will be the baby will be, and he will be, by the way, he will be a full body. He's a little chunky one, as we can tell. He's got lots of chin action, lots of cheeks. So he's going to be a chunky baby, full body. I think he's probably going to be about 21, maybe 22 inches. About a 3-month size baby. So he's going to be a whole lot of baby. And he will have the armature in his, just a full armature in his arms, nothing in his legs, because we still want him to be floppy. But I'm really excited about this because he's certainly going to be he's a prince, so I wanted to have a royal entrance into the world, at least in my world. And yes, so he will be the launch of babies. I'm doing the same thing with my toddlers. I'm no longer doing toddler custom, so they will only be very exclusive and just a whole different level. And you will see with the new toddler what I have planned for that new toddler, because again, I always have to push the boundaries of what can be done in silicone, and you will see. I'm not going to tell you now, you're going to see. And that first toddler actually will make a debut at IDTS in Florida, in Orlando. It's around, I think it's going to be the 4th of July weekend. So there's going to be a lot more information about that. But right now, my sole focus is the prince and just trying to work out his details. So right now, I'm going to this is a little bit of this is baby oil that I use, and I use this in the corners with a little brush to soften all those edges. So every artist has their different way of doing things. This is just my way. I don't know if everybody else does this, but this is how I do it. Remember, I never read a book or took a class on how to do this, so this is just me doing what I feel is effective. But yeah, I get all of my creases, and I find that when I apply this baby oil, it well, it does. It sort of like kind of like melts, so it softens every single edge. You never want to have something produced, mass produced, not mass produced, but reproduced, and then you find that, oh my goodness, look at those edges. That should have been. Why does it have a hard edge in a sculpt? So, so I just go in there with my brush, just all under here, all those little creases. Another thing, interesting thing when I sculpt, I look at things. How do I explain this? When I sculpt, I look at shapes. I don't look at the face as a whole. Literally, if I'm looking at a photo, and sometimes I don't always work from a photo when I'm creating my edition babies, because I'm always looking for inspiration. But sometimes I'll just like get the clay and just whip up. I mean, just it'll just come out of my head, and I don't have an idea. But when I'm working from a photo, what I tend to do is my brain wants to just duplicate what I'm seeing. So if this makes any sense to you, when I start sculpting, I know that I'm on track and doing the right thing. I literally will look at the shapes that I'm creating. Let's just say, for example, with this eye, with the eye that I put here. So when I'm looking to see if the eye is accurate, I will look at the photo and I will look at the outline and see if the outline that's been created by the clay that I put there, I'm looking to see if that outline is matching the outline in the photo. That's how I know that I'm doing it correctly. If this shape does not match the shape that's in the photo that you're looking at, then you got it all wrong, okay? So this is my guide. Again, I don't know if other artists do this. This is my crazy thing that I do. It's just the way my brain works. So I'm not looking at, not looking, oh, well, there's the eye. No, I'm looking at the shape around the eye, outside of the eye that was created. So just looking at that right now. So I will look at a photo and I'm looking at that, and it comes in, it goes out a little bit. And when I look at the photo, and when I show you in the video, you're gonna see the photo of the prints that I work from and my sculpt. I'm going to pose the head in the exact position that the photo is in, and you will see what I'm talking about. You will see in all the shapes that I created, they will match up right here, the lips, the lip line, everything. The shape should match. The width between the mouth and the outside of the head, it should match. So that's how you're gonna get a pretty good likeness, I feel. Another thing also, when you're sculpting, symmetry is very important. So you want to make sure your eyes are lined up. And I am a formally trained artist. I went to school, learned how to, bone structure and everything. So I know, just because I understand bone structure, I understand what's going on below the skin. So I know, just technically, I know that there's a certain distance that should be between the eyes. The nose should be at a certain point, because in my mind, I'm looking at where the skull is, what muscles would be working, what causes the creases. So I have an understanding on the inside what's going on. So it gives me a more informed sculpt. So, but yeah, this is really I actually enjoy being challenged, and these portraits, they really challenge me, and I really feel like I've gone full circle in my creativity, because I started out as a portrait artist, drawing and painting portraits. So to be at this point now, okay, 30 years later, I'm no overnight sensation, guys, right? I feel like I really have just done the whole gamut and come all the way around. And this is where I always wanted to be at. This is the level I always wanted to be at. I was a really good painter, really good with the charcoals. And I thought right originally that I was going to be such a whiz at the sculpting thing, because I could draw a face. I could duplicate a face. But I learned very quickly that it's totally different. So it was a matter of reconditioning my brain, and my brain's a little slow, I guess, 30 years. But it is, I'm always on that road to get as close to perfection as I possibly can. And keep in mind, this is always just my interpretation of what I see. So, but to get him, I feel like I've done a pretty decent job of capturing his likeness. So he's going to be cast in the soft silicone, and so his eyes, obviously, the way you see him now, his eyes, it doesn't matter that his eyes are all crooked in there, but it's not the point. Those eyes are in there. It's just a filler. So it doesn't matter that, this is all kind of funny in there. It'll all be cut out, and his perfect little eyes will be put in. But yeah, this is definitely something that I've been wanting to do and get to a comfortable level. And I'm so glad that I waited 3 years to do this, because now I feel like I'm at the skill level to really do the prince justice. The prince will be an addition. There'll be one prototype of him, and in his in that christening gown, the replica that I had commissioned, which is incredible. And then there will be 2 numbered editions, and that's it. There will be no more of the prince, and that'll be that. But I just feel like this is gonna be really special. I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to see him all put together and dressing him, and you guys will see along the way. I will be showing you, as you will see in this video. You will see the beginning stages of me sculpting his hands and arms, and then we will sculpt his feet and legs, and then it'll all come together. You'll see me sculpting his body, and then before you know it, a prince will be born. So yeah, so if you have any questions, I will be showing, actually in this video also, I'll be showing some other examples of portraits that I have done. So but next year I will be available to do commissions on my portrait babies, and some of those portraits will be just a one-of-a-kind portrait. They won't be an edition. So we'll see. Those will be the obviously commission portrait pieces. But yeah, so this is this is what we're doing. And his mouth will be open when he's cast. His mouth will be open, so he will be able to take a pacifier. Yes, and I'm always checking to make sure ears are symmetrical. You want to make sure they're symmetrical. But I get in there in these little creases. I get in there, really get in there, that oil, and really move it in there. All in the little creases. Yes. Yep. So in January, I'm planning a really beautiful debut of him. I will have I'll go live on Facebook with a full display. Normally I would do that when I debut my new babies, but this show is going to be all about the prince making his entrance. And I got everything already lined up, and I think you're gonna love it. He will come with the most incredible replica of his christening gown that I had commissioned. And when you see it, guys, you're gonna be just blown away. And he also will come with all those things that little princes come with. Bracelet and the sterling silver rattle, comb and breast silver, everything. It's just monogram. It is going to be the top of the line. It's certainly my most amazing presentation that I've ever done to date. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to subscribe to my channel, click on the notification bell, and I really want you to go with me on this journey. This is the first time I'm showing this much of what no one has ever seen me sculpt, certainly on a public forum. I've done it on private classes, but I'm hoping that some of you will learn and just appreciate the complexity that this art is, and just have a deeper respect for it. What we do is really difficult, but thank you for being here, and see you on the next video.